I'm WWE superstar, The Undertaker. And when I'm not choke-slamming bitches or smoking a big fat cigar, I'm watching Cultaholic. And if you don't, you're gonna rest in peace.
Thanks a lot for that, Mark. We paid $600 on Cameo for that, hoping to get some more subscribers in. Good to see we wear the same t-shirt as well. I'm Adam Pacitti, and this is the wrestling news. Let's take a look at the headline, shall we? Talent are said to be livid with WWE's Twitch takeover. We have an update on a potential AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling relationship, and WWE stars are upset with plans to tour once again. We'll tell you more in a bit. So we are kicking things off with an update to this morning's lead news story regarding WWE's takeover of WWE superstars' Twitch accounts. This has caused an enormous amount of controversy, not just in the wrestling world, but also it's generating a pretty significant amount of mainstream press coverage right now. It's been a bit of a PR disaster for WWE, and understandably so. People are really upset about this. Because of WWE superstars and their status as independent contractors. And this is basically saying, no, you can't make money on this on these platforms. Originally, it was just said, a memo went out 4 weeks ago or so with WWE saying you can't use your WWE names on these services. And so any WWE-owned intellectual property couldn't be used on Twitch, on Cameo, which is why we saw people rebrand. Paige, for example, that started using her real name. But it's gone a step further from them with the news breaking earlier that now WWE are going to be taking over the Twitch accounts if people do want to continue streaming and creating content, and they will take the revenue and then give the content creator a cut of that revenue. But the problem there is, as if it's not problematic enough, the problem there is that this goes towards their downside guarantee. So essentially, they'll be making less money than ever on these platforms. So we've seen some wrestlers saying they're going to wrap up Twitch, some saying they're done with Cameo and all that sort of stuff. Some are going to continue, but I guess time will tell, and they'll see how profitable it will continue to be. But it's not even just about money. I know a lot of the wrestlers really enjoy doing it because it gives them a chance to interact in real time with the fans, which isn't something that it's easy to do at the moment, given coronavirus and the fact that they're not running house shows or live events generally. So yeah, I can understand really why they're upset about this. Anyway, the update to the story is the Backstage reaction to this, and people are livid. People are livid. And not just the wrestlers who are using these platforms to stream either. So we got an update from the Wrestling Observer this morning, saying a lot of talent believe that the company did not want to get into battle of talent not being employees when they clearly are, and having the government look into it as possibly mislabeling it and penalties that could go along with that. But the email sent this week indicates another change. That is, of course, talking about the takeover. One talent said, "This is amazing because it's really going to open up the independent contractor issue. All these smart attorneys surrounding Vince, and this is the battle he wants?" And it continues, there's also a lot of talent who are livid, but as is usually the case in these situations, nobody would speak up about it. Well, one person has been quite vocal about it on Twitter, and that is Mia Yim, or as she's now known, Reckoning, who tweeted just a few hours ago, "Hey, at WWE, tagging the boss, want to take food we got in our fridge too? Dear talent and fans, retribution is not the problem. Join us in the fight to take down the real problem. Hashtag Retribution." So she's sort of incorporating the storyline there of Retribution wanting to destroy WWE into this very real life issue, and she is one of those streamers. She's one generating a bit of extra income via Twitch. So she's not happy about it. I don't know if that will result in a bollocking for her, because I mean, this is being picked up by press as well. I guess she could fall back on the fact she was going, oh, it's just kayfabe, it's just kayfabe. But people are clearly really, really upset about this. And yeah, understandably so. And it's a shame on as a fan of a lot of these Twitch channels. And Twitch has been so great, especially during coronavirus times and over lockdowns. Everybody's streaming now, including us, twitch.tv/Cultaholic. There's the plug. But it's been really nice to see a lot of these wrestlers not just make a bit of extra money, but doing stuff that they really want to do. It's nice to see them out of character, just enjoying themselves. So yeah, time will tell as to who continues doing it, who doesn't. But, well, I really hope Adam Cole sticks around. Fingers crossed. Next up, we go from WWE superstars being unhappy with WWE to WWE superstars being unhappy with WWE, this time because of the plans to tour once again. Earlier this week, Inside the Ropes, reported that WWE are planning to start touring again. The quote is, WWE are going to start traveling soon. Talents have been told they should not plan any immediate travel of their own accord. Superstars have also been told if they want time off from WWE, they should ask 3 weeks ahead of time. This doesn't mean that house shows are coming back, but it does mean the possibility of a return to touring Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, basically getting outside the Thunderdome. And the backstage reaction to this, once again, is not a pleasant one. Fightful saying, unanimously, the reception was that of groans and frustration, with many thinking that the decision to do this after the company knew of another outbreak was a poor one. It sure is. One top wrestler said they've not seen much from WWE to instill confidence that it would get any better on the road. Every talent we've spoke to misses live audiences, but have also expressed concerns to us about the realities of traveling. So yeah, I think this is a really foolish time to be considering doing something like this with coronavirus obviously not going away anytime soon. It's still pretty disastrous in the US. And even with socially distanced shows, the act of traveling itself poses increased risks to the performers in question. And with, cases constantly being reported in WWE, in NXT, and it's not just WWE and NXT, AEW of course seeing cases pop up as well of people contracting COVID-19. This seems like a very foolish time to start considering this sort of thing. And as it says at the end there, they are missing live shows, of course they are. It can't be the same performing in the Thunderdome or at the Performance Center. It must be very, very it's just so different, isn't it? It's not the same. It's a lot harder to do that without a live crowd. But at the same time, the safety of the performers, as well as the audience members, the fans, should come paramount. So it was very surprising to see that report earlier this week that they might be considering going back on the road. And yeah, we'll keep you updated. Next up, we have an update on a potential working relationship between All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Something that will get wrestling fans around the world salivating, just because of the sheer number of dream matches. I'm not going to go through them, but leave yours in the comments. There are so bloody many. This is exciting news, to say the least. So this follows the departure of Harold Mai as New Japan Pro Wrestling president. He spent 2.5 years with the company, and he's been a divisive figure, I think it's fair to say. He's not been without controversy, and in some ways he's done a lot of good work. Financially, certainly, New Japan are doing better financially than ever, but there was a lot of heat on him, reportedly, for letting some of the bigger Western talents leave and end up in AEW. Kenny Omega is mentioned specifically in these reports. Apparently people weren't happy about that at all. Anyway, a top AEW star, one that is unnamed, has spoken to Dave Meltzer about this. And they said, "We want to, regarding the relationship, but Harold was an idiot when it came to understanding the business. Hopefully, things will change now. People, the sentiment generally, according to these reports, is that Takami Obari, the man who is taking over from Old Hazard, is going to be very, very good with regards to understanding Western audiences better and working with big promotions within the US, and you've got to believe that AEW would be top of the list for companies that they would want to work with. Yeah, really, really exciting stuff. Again, we will keep you updated on it. But yeah, for now, just leave your dream matches below, and then we'll tick them off as we get to them. Yeah? Next up, we've got a little bit of trademark news. We love a bit of trademark news, don't we? This is quite exciting trademark news, actually. It relates to potentially AEW and certainly a rather popular stable. We're talking about the Four Horsemen. The trademark has been applied for by AEW coach Arn Anderson. So let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. Let's not jump the gun. This could be Arn just wanting to register the trademark to use that intellectual property to sell t-shirts and whatnot. And if there's anyone who should have that intellectual property, it's Arn or Flair or Steve Mongo McMichael, to be honest. But no, he's applied for this just a couple of days ago. It's just been discovered now. It's not the first time recently that it's been applied for. Back in March of 2019, Conrad Thompson applied for it, but it was later abandoned. So we'll keep you updated on whether or not he gets it. This is, of course, exciting because AEW have been for some time, well, there's been rumors and there's certainly been teases of a rebooted Four Horsemen on their programming, which is something that I would genuinely love to see. I think it would be fantastic, especially with like Tully and Arn. Sorry for not mentioning you earlier, Tully. My bad on that one. Replace Mongo with Tully, I guess, if you want. But you can imagine how great that would be. It would be fantastic. We will keep you updated once again. And finally, we're going to end on a downer. It's a bit of sad news regarding an injury of NXT's Tegan Knox, who has had such a rough time of it. It's 3 major injuries in 3 years. It was reported earlier this week that she has torn her ACL once again. Just a quick update on how it happened in the Observer this morning. Brian Alvarez asked if she tore her ACL in rehab, and Meltzer said, pretty much, yeah. It wasn't in training or anything. They didn't think anything was wrong, but something went wrong and they checked and it was a torn ACL. I'm going to guess it didn't heal properly. I don't know that. I'm not a doctor. Thanks for the clarification there, Big Dave. They found something wrong when they did the MRI. So not even like, not in training, not having a match or anything like that. She's just got the worst luck and she's got all the potential in the world. It wouldn't have surprised me if she had been NXT Women's Champion, like maybe even in the next 6 months or so. It wouldn't have surprised me if they'd done a Candice Tegan feud for the title. Maybe plans have changed on Sunday night. TakeOver, of course, happening. So yeah, really sad news because she's just so ridiculously talented and very, very marketable too. Cuts a great promo. She's brilliant in the ring. So yeah, it sucks for her. And hopefully this doesn't hold her back too much. It seems like Triple H has got her back, doesn't it? It seems like Trips is a big fan of her. So hopefully this won't hold her back too much. Anyway, that's your news. Enjoy your weekend. What we got coming up this weekend? We got a Behind the Match mini documentary with voiceover by Sam, words by Justin, edit by Matthew. We've also got a What Happened to That Wrestler, Somewhere Main, etc. We've got lists, we've got graded, we've got all sorts, and also check out Twitch. Oh, live stream. It's NXT TakeOver, isn't it? I'll see you there. youtube.com/cultaholic/live. There's all your plugs. Job done. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you in a bit.